we invest in real estate innovation
Hmm.
and education. So my education, I don't necessarily invest in educational companies. I invest my time and my resources, whether it's GenFire or the book. The book proceeds are donated to nonprofit groups and charities that promote financial literacy. And so I'm always very involved with education. I've sat on, for example, for over a decade as a board of the Shanghai Wharton Club.
Hmm.
I just recently agreed to become the president of the University of Pennsylvania Club of Tampa.
We're Jacqueline and Melvin Landry, and we welcome you to our podcast, Get Diversified. Throughout these series, we'll cover all the topics and questions you have about investing in apartment buildings, storage facilities, and mobile home parks. Being knowledgeable in these areas will help you feel more comfortable about investing. Apartment investing equals building wealth. Building wealth equals financial freedom. Achieving financial freedom allows you to spend your time with building memories with your loved ones. Let's face it, time is the one element in life that is limited, and you don't want to waste it.
Hello, and welcome back to the show, Get Diversified. I'm Melvin Landry, and I have a special guest here with us today, Mr. San Eng. Mr. San, welcome.
Hey, Melvin.
How's it going today?
Great to be here. Doing
Pleasure to have
great.
you.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you, man. Pleasure to have you. Thank you, Sam, for being a guest on Get Diversified. Additionally, one of the things we want to do as part of our show, we want to share stories, milestones, as well as speak to individuals in the multifamily real estate space and talk about ways of how we get diversified, right? How we aim to reach our goals and then know how we also get our kids involved as well. So one of the special parts of our show I want to speak to you about, Sam. Again, welcome. So, Sam, do me a favor. Why don't you kickstart off the show? Tell individuals about your journey to kind of where you've got to today. Tell us a little bit about kind of where you're from and your real estate journey, if you will.
Yeah, great. Again, thanks for letting me be here, Melvin. I'll try to keep this brief. I like to look at my life as 10-year increments. So version one post college was a few years of corporate, which didn't work out for me, and I went to startups. So did about 10 years of various technologies, co-founder, CEOs, startups. Ended up C-level, a number of companies raising about uh, as of now about 150 million
Mm-hmm.
as an entrepreneur.
Yep.
And then version two spent nearly 20 years as a professional investor, venture capital, private equity.
Mm-hmm.
And then version three with Skytian, essentially managing my own account as a modest family office,
Mm-hmm.
investing in different asset classes, but majority in real estate, and within that bucket, majority multifamily, like yourself.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
So
Good. Well, thanks for sharing this. And so, true exemplification of getting diversified, right? So, to the T from that standpoint. So, additionally, Sam, let's speak to the notion here. If I look at your background, I see you're an award-winning author, right? Commandments of Investing, as well as one of the leaders and creators of GenFire. So, why don't you speak to the audience in terms of talk to a little bit about your book, your award-winning book, and also speak to the notion of GenFire, some of the premise that's associated to it, and what's the aim and the goals of that organization, if you don't mind.
sure. Yeah, there are different things, but related, Melvin. So when I turned 45,
Mm-hmm.
that's almost 9 years ago, I decided to take 5 years off to spend time with my parents and my three daughters. I've been working so hard and really just wanted a break to travel the world and whatnot. But with the extra time, I also started to write a book
Mm-hmm.
eventually during COVID with my oldest daughter, Ia, and her cousin, Timmy, which became the 10 Commandments of Investing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It excited that we did become a Wall Street Journal USA Today bestseller. Essentially, it summarizes the 10 investment principles that we study globally of all the investment wizards,
Mm-hmm.
right? So whether they do real estate or another asset class, they all follow, according to our research, these 10 principles. And so we call these the 10 C's, the 10 Commandments. And then so currently with my own company, Skytian, we basically follow the 10 C's to invest for generational wealth. Okay. And so my focus right now actually is less on investing and even more time on this GENFIRE education platform. GENFIRE stands for Generational Financial Independence Reach Excellence. And the idea is there is a massive global movement called the FIRE movement, which you may know as Financially Independent Retire Early. We don't believe in retiring early. We believe in doing until we die what we love to do. So the RE stands for FI is the same thing. We want to be financially independent as early as possible. But instead of retiring early, we want to chase our passions and have the means to do so and be excellent at it. So reach excellence. And the generation means that my focus now is really trying to mentor, coach, and empower my daughters to GENFIRE. So they're 16, 17, 19. And very much like your son, M3, my goal, some would say it's ambitious, but I think it's doable, is to help my 3 daughters achieve GENFIRE, become financially independent by age 21. Learning a lot of lessons from my own journey doing that. And in a lot of discussions with parents like yourself, we said, why not create a group, a community, this GENFIRE group, so that we can have the kids work together, have the parents share war stories and best practices. And so this community is growing, and we hope to one day become the largest community to help generations get to GENFIRE and maybe help 1 million people.
Yeah, indeed. I'll speak. Saying I've joined the organization as well and provide some intel and insights. My son's 8 years old, right? So going through and kind of reading your commandments of investing with him, going chapter by chapter and kind of sharing examples in terms of executing on those commandments, and also getting them really involved in multifamily real estate, which proximity is power, right? So he's aware of GENFIRE, right? Looking forward to being in a collaborative environment where we can kind of speak and allow him to kind of share his story as well. And you know what? He's very excited, right? So, we're talking about investing, right? And going through, for him, it's a little more simpler context, right? Leverage, liquidity, capital. So he's really gaining excitement and knowledge. And it's springboarded him in ways I never thought it would be. So he's on board, man, and we're looking forward to kind of continuing, the great things that you're putting out in regards to GENFIRE. So fantastic ordeal.
Melvin, you're being so modest, man. I'm smiling because, come on, M3 is 8 years old.
Yeah, man.
That's exceptional. So you guys are doing a great job. You and Jackie are doing a great job, and he's a special child.
Hey, man, thanks. Hey, appreciate it, man. He's, we're trying to, trying to navigate, man. He wants to be a pilot. That's his dream as well. But he wants to be a pilot. Now he wants to be an apartment investor. We're going to help him realize those goals. So,
and he can be both. He can be both.
Yeah. Indeed. Right. So, Sam, you mentioned your 3 daughters, man. So, if you don't mind kind of sharing the story, I think your oldest daughter is heavily involved in multifamily real estate. She's now an operator, right? You want to kind of share,
So, the oldest child often, not always, is a bit more serious. So I'll say Ia is her name, Ia OIA. And so she joined this real estate mastermind where we met when she was 17, a senior in high school. And she went through the whole, training process for 2 years on and off. And we toured the country. We literally drove New York, Florida, Texas, and back, and underwrote a lot of deals. And for the first 2 years, we couldn't win deals. And then when she graduated high school, she decided to take a gap year, a full year out, partially to explore the world. She did some traveling, but also to do underwriting. So last May, she spent the entire May in Tampa with me, and we just hustle all day long. and finally locked in a deal. So we closed a deal last November. It's a 12-unit deal, $2.2 million.
Okay.
And
Congratulations.
yeah. And she did the underwriting, secured a deal, did the webinar, financial modeling. The investors were my and my other partner's leads, but she pitched most of them.
Okay. Yep.
And so she raised the funds. The first two, she asked me to sit in. The third one, she's like, "I don't need you no more."
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I
like
mean,
that.
because she did the work. She did the work. She was comfortable with. She was comfortable with the numbers and the presentation. And so for that piece of it, she owns a quarter of the carry interest profit share, as you know.
Nice.
And based on our underwriting base case, that would be more than enough to pay for her first year of college.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, so tell her we say congratulations over here from the show, wishing her best of luck and success, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, but Melvin, it wasn't easy for me or for her. It's a 3-year journey, and which is why we felt we made so many mistakes. It was also difficult for a 17, 18, 19-year-old just to look at the old man all day long.
Yeah.
And so with GENFIRE, we're actually, per you and Jackie's and other suggestions, we're going to start creating peer groups, right? So she could work with the group of teenagers. And then perhaps you can be her mentor and not always the old man, and vice versa, right?
We're not old man.
Trust me, what I'm saying? Like it's always better to have another adult coaching her, as opposed to right. So so we're working out these services, if you will, on the GENFIRE, and we'll launch that soon.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. It may be challenging for M3 because he's very young, but we'll try.
We're working it, man, slowly but steady. But it he's picking up, and again, the lingo in the ecosystem around the house, right? We're talking, hey, deals, right? Opportunities, passive income, real estate. He's picking up on it, which is pretty cool. So,
yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Your other two daughters, so will they follow suit as your oldest daughter, or you think they be different?
I think every child's different. The other two are less business inclined, a bit more creative. But I think they're turning around. So for example, my youngest, who's 16, knows he wants to be an architect. He also knows architects don't always make money super fast, but she wants to pursue that passion. So my message to her is, go be an architect, but take some time to do a deal or two and learn it like your sister, right? You can spend a month or two, do a deal, and that would fund your passion, right? Number two hasn't decided.
Okay.
She might be more of a STEM, but the plan this summer is for all three of them, with their mom and I, to spend a month in Tampa, to try to take down a deal together. And then in the middle of the summer, they would travel. Now, if we're lucky to close a deal beginning of the summer, then they don't have to come back. If we don't close the deal, they have to come back end of the summer before school.
Okay.
But the idea is to have the oldest, handhold the other two to do a deal or two. To do a deal, and then to the extent that we can get sufficient critical mass with GENFIRE, maybe there'll be other parents and peers that we could do it together.
Yeah, absolutely, collaborative deal, right? Kind of sharing the knowledge, spreading education.
It would be a lot easier. There's 5 or 6 teenagers looking at deals together, having fun with it, and then then they'll call you and call me, and it's a lot easier than if it's just the parents. A lot easier, man. A lot, yeah.
Understood. All in, man. All in from beginning to end. Good stuff. Now, tell me now, I'm a college professor. You are a college professor as well. So you want to kind of share with the world in terms of where your passion's at? I mean, you've taught in an adjunct capacity, as have I. So you want to share some insights on that? What do you enjoy teaching?
Thank you. Yeah. So even in our website, we say we invest in real estate innovation. And education. So my education, I don't necessarily invest in educational companies. I invest my time and my resources whether it's GenFire or the book proceeds are donated to nonprofit groups and charities that promote financial literacy. And so I'm always very involved with education. I've sat on, for example, for over a decade as a board of the Shanghai Wharton Club.
Mm-hmm.
I just recently agreed to become the president of the University of Pennsylvania Club of Tampa.
Okay.
Just to serve the community in those type of capacities. And when I was living in Shanghai, I also taught investing at Shanghai Jiaotong University, which is the top business school in Shanghai.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but again, it wasn't really a job. I didn't ask to be paid, but their policy, they pay you. It was more of really engaging with the students. Because Melvin, when you teach, you actually learn more.
Yeah, I mean, it's a passion,
right?
We don't do it for the money.
Yeah, you get more than what you give when you actually teach. So that was amazing. Mm-hmm.
Indeed, fantastic. Thanks for sharing that.
What do you teach?
Agricultural economics as well as macro econ. So I'm
wow.
I teach Liberty University, online institution for profit. I'm also an adjunct faculty member in the A&M system. So I teach for Texas A&M Commerce and Texas A&M Texarkana. I've been teaching since 2005, man. It's always been a passion. I love to educate, share knowledge, bring my real world corporate experience to the fold. And kind of build relationships from that standpoint, man. So I've been doing it, since 2005. I'll never forget the opportunity, man. I was living in Colorado, got a chance to teach an intro econ class at the community college level. So I've been doing it for quite a while. I mean, I just love what I do, man. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So Sky, let's talk about Skytan, right? In terms of your growth. What are some goals that you have for your real estate organization? You're heavy in multifamily. I know you love Florida. We know you got a lot of units in Tampa. What's the goal, say, the next 12, 24 months for Skytan?
Yeah. So we're actually still relatively new, about 3 years as initially as LP, then GP.
Yep.
But we took down 7 deals in the past 2.5 years or so in Tampa. We did a few deals in New Jersey, but the bulk is in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And one has gone full cycle, 45% net IRR to LPs.
Wow.
Another one is 90% full cycle, similar IRR.
Okay.
That's our second deal. So now we're spending quite a bit of time making sure the existing portfolio is doing good. The goal is to, similar like you, is to get to $1 billion AUM in the real estate side over the next 2 to 4 years as a GP, a co-GP. We also invest very selectively in technology innovation company. So we do a couple of deals a year in that. And then the rest of the time is education projects such as GENFIRE and the book.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, very excited about the Central Florida market, and that's what we'll focus as a lead GP.
Yep.
We're still co-GPing in other good markets, but we're really chasing and becoming the domain expert in the Tampa Central Florida area.
Okay, good stuff, man. Fantastic. That's a phenomenal goal. I know you're going to get there. I know you know your market. I know you know Florida, so I have no doubts about that you'll reach that goal, man, for sure. So
yeah, nationally, we all know, Melvin, that prices on average might have dropped, but real estate is very local. Tampa actually is strong.
Very strong. That is
still positive.
That is true. That is true.
So.
Good stuff. Well, Sam, hey man, appreciate those insights. I want to close it with one last question. So say, for instance, there's a parent out there. They may have a parent, a 14, 15-year-old, right? Similar, right? Somewhere in the middle between you and I, your oldest, my oldest. And they were thinking about, hey, what can I do to help accelerate help my child think about investing? What are some pointers you would give to that parent who's really trying to help their child kind of move the needle, help them think about investing, to help them get and reach GENFIRE future state before they're 21? Any words of wisdom you can share?
Yes.
With any parents out
Yes,
there?
I actually think this is critical. Kids, whether they're 8 or 28,
Yeah.
their natural reaction is to be dismissive.
Okay.
But when you care, when you introduce a book, when you make them study flashcards as you do with M3, even when they're dismissing you, they know you love them, they know you care.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so don't be discouraged if they resist, they whine, do it anyways.
Yeah.
And I say this from experience. When my daughters were between ages of 8 to 12, I force fed them Rich Dad Poor Dad. Right? At that time, they were not necessarily willing. I bought it anyways and force fed them. They did read it. We summarized it, and I forgot about it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when Ia turned 16, she started quoting from the book, talking about passive income, how like, she doesn't want to have a job, that she doesn't want to get a corporate job. I'm like, where are you getting these from? Where are you getting these ideas from? Yeah. She's like, Kiyosaki.
Mm-hmm.
I had forgotten about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But she remembered. She
Wow.
remembered. It
Wow.
came back. Right. So I do think, don't get discouraged if they seem negative, because that's the natural reaction.
Yeah.
Your parents, you're not supposed to be cool. They're supposed to rebel as teenagers.
Man, we're
But
cool.
they know, they can sense, and they know that you're doing it out of love, and it's in there. It's in there. So I think that was a great moment for me.
Mm-hmm. Good, great stuff, man. Fantastic words of wisdom. Any parents out there, you've kind of heard it from the guy himself, Mr. San Eng. And San Eng, I want to thank you for taking the time to be on the Get Diversified show. You're doing some great things in the multifamily space, as well as doing great things with GENFIRE. I believe in it. I'm glad to be participating in it. And man, looking forward to the trajectory of where you're trying to reach and where you're trying to get it to be. So fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And likewise, Melvin, you and I and Jackie, we got to do a deal together, and maybe the kids can do a deal together at some point.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I'm all for it.
All right. Thank you.
Buddy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy.